The benefits are there for the school. The benefits are there for you. Can you tell me the story, whether it's Tesla or microvention, about how this truly impacted your business? Obviously, we can think better trained people are going to come in and do a better job, but I know that the story is much greater than that.
When the company's struggling for folks, skilled technicians in the EV space, it was taking a while to train folks just off the street. Whereas our students, our graduates coming out of the program, were able to hit the ground running on day one. Like the biggest question they might have is where's the bathroom? Because they might move to a new service center or whatnot. And so what we were seeing was their effectiveness, which is monitored via versatility chart. We essentially mirrored everything that all of the full-time technicians were being trained on and how they were being monitored. We did the same thing with the program. We're noticing that they were picking up speed quicker and they were becoming more efficient. They were being more impactful. So fix it first time rates, ability to get cars through lines. They're also being utilized in different areas across the business. Some were getting sent back to the factory to do end of line, which in a lot of car factories, end of line is like a service center, but at the end of the line, because it was like car might need one or two little things that are fixed. Here we go. It's like immediately, hey, who do we have from the START program? Where can we push these people? And then full circle, what was happening was as we were expanding to different schools, we need new instructors. So we would have these graduates who were out in the field and doing well and getting promoted. And then a lot of them were like, hey, I want to be an instructor too, because I felt the amount of impact that I got. So then it became a pipeline for our instructors as well. And so when opening up a new school or a new program, we had people ready to go who knew how the program was run, who understood what it is that we were trying to get out of. And from that point, that flourished and it became like, hey, this is awesome. And now we're pumping out about 400 people a year for this need. And some of the leadership saw, hey, we could see this in other verticals. So that's when we started looking at it from an energy perspective. And then we started looking at it from a manufacturing perspective. And then that became a really big part of Tesla moving to Austin and that opening up that big manufacturing. It's like we need to train folks for robotics. How do we do that? And we've got this framework right here with START. Let's just take the robotics content and put it in. And so we had folks coming out, becoming maintenance technicians right away. And we were continuing to build this pipeline for folks from the Austin area, working with an Austin school. So it was like for them, by them, to fill the factory with folks that, for a role that was really difficult for us to find. So it had a great foundation, and that was all due in part. We had a killer training team, and they were the nuts and bolts of this program. And I just happened to be just like a perfect symbiotic relationship where I had these ideas and I had these people and they had these ideas and they needed these people. And they put the framework together and we just went out and did it. And that was like the cool thing about some of these programs is, at least with the Tesla ideas, is you go and do it. And if you can show value, then they'll like, all right, let's give you more money to do this. Whereas a lot of times companies will be like, hey, I need a business case. I need this to be worth something. We didn't have time to go through that back and forth. We just did it and then built it and ran with it and showed that there was a value add here. On top of that, it was mission critical and it was really helping. And it was helping this population of workforce that didn't think that they'd ever work at a company like Tesla. So been able to take that mentality and really look at workforce from a different lens. And so here I am at this amazing company in the med device space, microvention. And you guys make catheter technology for neurovascular disease states. How does this apply? And funny enough, I came on board, they already had something going with it. They had this rotational program for engineers, and it's not uncommon, again, at a lot of places. It was bringing in a really strong champion. So our chief of staff, one of our senior directors was like, I think we can do better with this. And I said, I think we can do better with this as well. I know we can because of my experience. So let's take really turned on kids and bring them in and run them through this rotation. And then they become like the future leader of our R&D industry. And before we started our third cohort in August, and it's an 18-month rotation. Our second cohort didn't even get to their third rotation because they'd already been snapped up by different groups being like, we really want this person in this role. Kudos to like the training and program development side of things. But what it's done too is it's become this go-to for all new engineers and new talent because they've already proven themselves. They proved themselves just by getting the job because this last year, we had almost 500 applicants. We had 5 make it through. The year before, we had over 300 applicants, and we had another 5 come through. And so we're getting some of the best and brightest students, graduates, either the undergrad or master's programs, coming in and really developing themselves and figuring out what they're good at. Some of them have gone in different areas. Some of them have gone like the quality route or the regulatory affairs route because they get exposure to that and they say, hey, you know what? I really like this. I guess that benefits us because now you got someone super turned on going into a role that is sometimes tough to find. It's really, how do you continue to evolve that? How do you continue to build those programs? And so now I get this opportunity to like, hey, how we're struggling with certain things in maybe the skilled trades or production world. Guess what? I've done this. Let's start calling around to some of the local schools, see what some of them are already doing. What are some of the programming that they already have? And that's like the low hanging fruit of this whole situation. Is again, I'm not being innovative. I think I'm more so being resourceful. There are programs all over the place. This is not something that is like not new news. The workforce development is the flavor of the month for every politician every month. How do my constituents get jobs? So these programs are out there. We're fortunate down here in Orange County, we've got some really cool consortiums of schools that are like the community colleges have decided, hey, instead of fighting each other, let's work together. Who's got the best programs for these certain things? And let's build our own like manufacturing programs to help the local workforce. And with us, who better than your own people to know how to train your people? We already have training programs. So let's take inventory of what we got. How do we maybe take the risk of separating it and letting someone go through training and figuring and developing them and figuring it out? And it really is a mindset shift. We've got these people with these mindsets of, I want to do this job. I want to do it well. And I'm bought in because guess what? When you invest in people, they reciprocate. So yeah, it really is being resourceful.